welcome to my sacred space. My name is Lauren Victoria. I am a therapist, energy worker, and certified sound healer. And today I'm going to talk to you about depression. There's still a lot of stigma surrounding mental health, particularly when it comes to treatment and disorders. So in this video, we're going to do a casual little deep dive into the clinical symptoms of depression, as well as how to identify that in everyday life and everyday behaviors. Now, according to the DSM V, depression involves 5 or more of the following symptoms within a 2-week period. 1. Depressed mood most of the day, nearly every day. 2. Significantly diminished pleasure or interest in almost all activities most of the day, nearly every day. 3. Significant weight loss or weight gain, or a significant change, either increase or decrease, in appetite. 4. A significant reduction of speed in thought or movement. 5. Fatigue or loss of energy nearly every day. 6. Significant feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt nearly every day. 7. The diminished ability to think, concentrate, or focus. Or 8. Recurrent thoughts of death or no longer wanting to be alive. According to the DSM V, an individual must show 5 of those 8 symptoms within a 2-week period. Now, as a disclaimer, these symptoms relate specifically to major depressive disorder. To be clear, there are several depressive disorders other than MDD. However, I'm speaking to major depressive disorder because it is the most common. Now again, it's my goal in this video to understand these symptoms in layman's terms, essentially understanding what this can look like in everyday life and not just clinical jargon. Why? Because according to the World Health Organization, more than 5% of the global population is suffering from depression. That's more than 280 million people. The United States alone reports more than 3 million people suffering from depression, 7% of the population. Depression is the single leading cause of worldwide disability. Depression and depressive symptoms can start as early as 6 years old, and these symptoms tend to exacerbate specifically in the final stages of life. That is, for most elders and senior citizens. In fact, adults with depression have a 64% higher risk of heart disease than those without. So why does this matter? Well, these are just the numbers and the statistics that have been reported cases of depression. It is assumed that there is a much larger number of people who do not report their symptoms. In fact, according to a US study, nearly 2/3 of people suffering from depression never seek treatment in the first place. Common barriers to the treatment of depression include lack of access, finances, cultural or religious influence or stigma, or specifically, which I hope to address, educational. We can't really go get help for our depression if we aren't really sure of what it is. So let's review those DSM V symptoms again on a more casual note. Remember, for number 1, it was depressed mood most of the day, nearly every day. Now, obviously, this is a symptom that can be interpreted in a variety of ways, but in general, we can think of depressed mood as basically feeling empty. We often say things like, oh, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling blue, I'm feeling sad, and it just denotes that we aren't our usual selves. Where you might find joy or pleasure, like symptom number 2, we are no longer feeling excited by things that used to interest us. You may find that you're no longer humored by your favorite TV shows and movies, or even your funniest friend cannot get you to crack a smile. Clinically, this is specifically referred to as anhedonia, or the lack of pleasure and happiness. Now, symptom number 3 was pretty straightforward, relating to the way that we eat and the way that our body weight fluctuates. In addition to our appetite and body size, however, this can include quality of food. So not only may you start eating less, but you may revert to eating unhealthier foods. Typically, with a depression, we have a lack of energy. So the idea of cooking a fresh meal or going out to a fancy restaurant can seem pretty overwhelming. You might find yourself instead binging on Doritos and noodles or ordering takeout every single night. This is a significant symptom to be aware of because the mind and body are not separate entities. It's very hard for the mind to recover from impairment if we are not fueling our bodies in a healthy way. If you notice that you or someone you love is showing signs of depression, it may behoove you to eat as fresh and healthy as you can so that the energy from the body can be used to recover from that depressive state. In direct relation, we have symptom number 5, and that is fatigue or loss of energy. Again, this is very straightforward, but if we're thinking about how we might see that show up in our mom or our partner, it may look like someone sleeping in bed far more than usual, 12 or 13 or 14 hours, and wake up and still be groggy. Again, related to that anhedonia, you may ask them or present to them opportunities to engage in their favorite tasks, and they may show no interest or have no energy to do so. Something as simple as taking a shower can feel beyond exhausting. And this is why pretty often we are able to see symptoms of depression in a way a person is grooming themselves. So think about the last time you or the person you may be concerned about has taken a shower. When is the last time that you saw them engaging in self-care? We cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you notice that someone is completely neglecting their own, this might be a sign of serious issues. Symptom number 7 was the diminished ability to think or concentrate. Another pretty straightforward symptom, but when we think about what this looks like in our day-to-day lives, this can look like someone who constantly loses their train of thought. You can see them physically getting into their heads, right? Someone who's staring off in a distance, perhaps even dissociating a little bit. Basically, losing touch with their senses around them, perhaps their body or their surroundings. Indecisiveness specifically can look like a partner who is unable to delegate tasks the way that they used to. This is a time where they may not be able to make those important decisions, and you may find yourself having to step up, or if that person is you, you may find it beneficial to rely on someone else, getting support from someone you know and love. Now, revisiting that final symptom, we had recurrent thoughts of death or no longer living. Obviously, unaliving yourself is one of the most extreme cases of this particular symptom. If you believe that you or someone you know has severe depression, it can be very important to have a safety plan and assessments for a person's tendency or willingness to unalive themselves. If you're interested in knowing how to make an emergency plan for someone who is at risk, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on that topic. Again, my name is Lauren Victoria, and I'm so grateful that you came here today to educate yourself or others about depression. If you learned something from this video, please feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and share with someone who you think may benefit from it. Drop down in the comments and let me know what other day-to-day ways do you see these clinical symptoms of depression show up, whether it be in your life or someone you know. I'll see you guys soon for another video, and as always, feel free to reach out to me across other platforms. All of my information is in the description box below. Bye. Don't look at my nails.